Room 13 presents. In the drifting mist of a secluded New England town, nestled among swaying birches and solemn pines, lay Thorncrest Inn, an establishment steeped in shadowed mystery. Erected in 1883 by a reclusive architect whose life remains as cryptic as the inn he designed, it was now a rambling structure with ivy crawling up brick walls and windows that stared blindly into the night. The townsfolk spoke of odd occurrences, passing them off as mere tales to entertain visitors craving a brush with the unknown. Elena Mitchell arrived at the inn under a bruised sky, the wind whispering secrets through cracked windows. An investigative journalist hungry for her next big story, she hoped Thorncrest Inn would provide the intrigue she desperately sought, the enigma of Room 13, where whispers of inexplicable happenings had piqued her interest. The innkeeper, a sallow woman with eyes that flickered like candle flames, greeted Elena with a polite yet enduring apprehension. "Miss Mitchell," she said, her voice a brittle parchment rustling in an unfelt breeze. "I trust you'll find our hospitality inviting, though I must advise caution regarding our more peculiar accommodations." Puzzled but undeterred, Elena was handed a tarnished key, accompanied by a slip of paper inscribed with a single number, 13. The innkeeper's warning echoed, a haunting echo, as Elena ascended a creaky staircase that twisted like a snake through the building's core, every step a shivering descent into mystery. The upper corridors stretched out in dimly lit disquiet, doors lining the halls like sentinels steeped in silent watch. As Elena approached Room 13, she felt an unexplainable heaviness settle upon her chest. Her fingers trembled with expectation and unease as she slipped the key into the lock, each metallic twist a resounding promise. The door yielded with a mournful groan, revealing a chamber that appeared entirely mundane at first glance. A neatly made bed sat against the far wall, and a writing desk stood before a sagging window, curtains whispering in the breeze of an imperceptible draft. Yet the room seemed to pulse with a life of its own, a soft hum of energy that sent shivers dancing up Elena's spine. Determined to capture the essence of the room's reputed eeriness, Elena began her work, drawing out her camera and notepad. Hours lapsed into wordless whispers as twilight seeped into the room like creeping vines, transforming its every corner into shadowy anonymity. It began subtly. The temperature dipped, an inexplicable winter chilling her bones. Elena exhaled slowly, her breath curling upon itself like reluctant smoke in the air. And then she heard it, a low murmur threading through the silence like a hymn softly sung to forgotten gods. "What are you doing here?" The words, though barely audible, rang through Elena's mind, a phantom echo trapped within. She spun, searching for the source, but the room stood empty, watching without revealing. Heart pounding and curiosity flaring, she forced herself to remain. The innkeeper's caution was a dangling hook, arousing her instincts for deeper truths. As night bled further into its realm, Elena felt drawn to the writing desk. She opened its drawers, each revealing odds and ends, yellowed letters whose writers long remained unremembered and souvenirs of time that sought concealment. But beneath them, she found a diary. Leather-bound and fragile, the pages whispered as she stroked them open. In elegant but unsteady hand, it told the tale of a former guest, a man named Alaric Caldwell, whose stay had abruptly ended in madness. The entries darkened from mundane notes into something haunting. The very walls, Alaric wrote, seemed to possess a voice, thrumming with life that gnawed at his sanity. The discomfort that had been a mere shadow now loomed as tangible dread, wrapping around Elena's senses. The voice returned, not spoken, but residing within the fabric of thought, itself, sacrifice. It intoned with a clarity that sent jagged shivers across her skin. Panicked confusion tangled Elena's thoughts. What did this place want, demand from her? Her logical mind recoiled, seeking something concrete, yet the allure of understanding the room held her. She retreated to the bed, a sanctuary that now felt sentinel yet unwelcome. As midnight approached, she felt her consciousness drift with an unbidden drowsiness, the diary's words swirling in her mind. "There's only one way out," the final entry declared. "It needs an offering, a piece of yourself you never knew you held dear." Waves of depression and yearning wrapped around her, a bittersweet lullaby calling her to the edge of awareness. In dreams, she wandered corridors long since departed. Alaric walked beside her, a pale specter of hollow eyes and pleadingless lips. "They called me to it," he whispered, pointing to a door at the end of an endless hallway. Elena awoke, gasping under unseen weight. The room was colder, the darkness more pronounced, and there it was, a presence, shapeless and inseparable from the shadows. "Trust," it whispered. "Surrender." Fear clawed at her, but overwhelming curiosity propels the cog of a journalist seeking understanding. Elena crawled from the bed, senses tingling with anticipation, and found herself again at the desk. Without knowing why, she took the diary in her hands, its fragile spine heavy with untold burdens. Yet it was not the diary alone that she now sensed she must offer. Experience and will, long defended, would be her sacrifice. The room demanded vulnerability, an honest confrontation with the secrets she shielded even from herself. Elena laid the diary upon the bed, its brittle pages flayed open like evidence. With trembling resolve, she spoke aloud her deepest regret. The sorrow cinched tight within her. "I wish I had been there," she confessed, the words painful and liberating. And there it was, the hum of the room, alive, a tempo both tranquil and terrifying, a gentle sonata lulling her racing heart. The presence, no longer malevolent, caressed her senses like a parent soothing a troubled child. Dawn crept into the room, banishing night's uncertainty with tentative rays. Elena, unburdened by her revelation, resolved to document her experience without assuring evidence. The diary lay open beside her. As she picked it up to return it to the desk, the final pages had shifted, revealing a note written in her own handwriting. "Only through understanding may you leave." It wasn't a threat, it was the promise of comprehension. Elena departed Thorncrest Inn with more than a story. She carried a part of its mystery within her, the echo and resonance of Room 13's eerie melody softly playing in her thoughts. She realized this enigma was not meant to be solved, only shared, an invitation for others to discover what they unknowingly sought. The inn, shrouded in autumn mist, watched her leave, its secrets intact, its haunts unfurling whispers to the birch trees and solemn pines. The story of Room 13 would linger in the telling, a shadow in the town's folklore that would never fade. Elena glanced back one final time, an unspoken vow forming between the creaking inn and the ghostly thoughts it harbored. What had begun as a story to capture transformed into a journey of shared silence, offering her more than the chilling mysteries she initially pursued. The room would remember her, as she would it, leaving a delicate specter in place of her absence.